What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Mana Decentraland today at the request of Carbon Zero. I meant to make this one a couple days ago, but it's a good day, I think, to talk about Mana because, hey, we moved up, man. If I talked about it a couple days ago, I would have been talking about it again today anyways because we moved up 15% yesterday, and we're continuing that rally today, it looks like. I do believe it continues. I don't believe that we stop here. Right, if we're looking here, Kraken is a good one because it has the most historical data. But for a day-to-day, and I just want to see here, like if we're looking at the volume here, right? The volume, come on. Volume was 887K on Coinbase. It was 2.69 million. So a lot more volume on Coinbase here. These volume readings might be more accurate. Maybe even on Binance, you probably have even more, right? Yeah. All I'm trying to get to, the reason why I'm focusing on the volume here, is that yesterday was the most volume that we've seen on a daily basis since August 5th, which happened to be our low as well, right? Very key areas. This level of volume here, nothing in between them that comes close, and both of those levels come at very key areas here. The low of the move down, right? The low there that is preparing to send us on our way up, and this, the day that has any kind of comparable volume to this day that was our low, a very significant area, being the day that might ignite this breakout of this kind of phase of this lower part of the zone here. I really do think that we're about to break out. I think we're breaking out now. That's what this looks like to me. If we're looking at a 4-hour basis, 4-hour RSI looks so good. It looks very, very good, you guys. Volume's dying off a little bit as you're moving up. It wouldn't be crazy to consolidate a little bit after you've moved up, but still, like day to day, week to week, I expect you are going to move up. Looking at Mana for what it is on an overall kind of perspective, if we go back to Kraken, now that we don't need the volume. What? Is this USD? It's USDT, that's why. Okay. I was like, doesn't Kraken has more data than that? There we go. If we're looking at this range for what it is, just overall, we're at the base of it, right? We actually even went a little bit lower than our lows of the base, which most coins that have done that I've kind of written off. Not Mana, because Mana, it did this last cycle. It did this same thing last cycle, where literally, right, March 2020, that's whenever it found its bear cycle low, like quite literally one of the longest bear cycles ever, but it had a phenomenal like 400x of a bull cycle, right? March 9th, 2020, by the way, Bitcoin, if we look at BTC, March 9th, 2020, where are we at? Right, Bitcoin had found its low by this time, way back here, right? We're in the same. Bitcoin's bear market low happened in December of 2018. Mana was still figuring it out. So the fact that we found a low here, we've done it before, we've seen it last cycle. I'm not writing this off completely. We were still finding lower lows well into the bull cycle, and yet we had a 400x rally. So I'm definitely not writing this one off. I do believe that it is going to see new all-time highs this cycle. Carbon Zero, I think you were asking me where I expect these all-time highs to come in. I don't know if I should draw it from this low or from this low, or maybe I should just take this low. I don't know. I actually do like this low, and then that's like a fake out low there. I like that low because this 382 area comes in line very well with this resistance point here, this resistance point here. We might see significance on it going forward. Same thing with the 236 here. You see some respect after the point is drawn. So I like this. New all-time highs, in my opinion, by the end of this cycle are going to be anywhere from like $14 at a minimum. At a minimum, I might have to buy some Mana. I say this every time I make a video on Mana. I want to buy more Mana, man. To potentially $42, right? This is your expected zone, 14 to $42. Absolutely, you could go to $99. I'm not going to make the argument for that this time around, but you could. Okay, you saw 400x last cycle. What would that be this cycle if you were to move all the way up to like $100 this cycle? I mean, that'd still be a multi-100x, but it'd be like a 300x instead of a 400x. You've seen that kind of growth cycle to cycle before, and I think Mana does deserve a market cap that high, but maybe not this cycle. I think something around 14 to 42 is to be expected. Maybe that 22 area. If we look at our last cycle high to our last cycle low, and we see where we topped off. We topped off at the 200 area, okay, just above the 1886 right there, okay. If we were to do that same thing this cycle, that would be that would put us all the way up, you know, well above $100. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to happen. To me, I think I would more expect this like 1618, 1414 area, but at a minimum $14 could be hit. So that's the prospects for mana. Let's put it in a percentage term so that it makes more sense, right? So you can do the math easily in your head to determine if it's worth buying or not, right? From the current price, if you were to buy here at 34 cents after a 15% pump this week already, you still gain at a minimum a 40x, 41x, potentially a 63x, and then at a maximum over 100x. This thing, yes, it does have, even at the 1618 there, that's still over 100x potential. I got to buy some mana, man. What am I doing? That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal, man. You know what, you guys? I am going to buy some mana. I'm going to make a post on my Discord after I do it. And I will buy it right after this video. I'm going to post this video first, and then I'm going to buy some mana. And I'm going to post in the Discord whenever I do. But I'm going to throw a little bit of change into mana right now. I really do think that it is about to move up. A lot of people have written this thing off, and I think just like last cycle, where a lot of people, myself included, wrote it off. I think it proved people wrong last cycle. It's going to prove people wrong this cycle. You zoom out and you look at it for what it is. It's one of the most bullish charts in crypto. Higher highs, higher lows, cycle after cycle. It's been a part of 1, 2, and now this is its third bull cycle, though it hasn't seen any upside yet. I can't wait for whenever it does see upside. And it's been around this long, and it's still productive. It's still in an overall uptrend. You're finding support at previous areas of resistance, right? Like you're literally finding structure in key areas that look productive for you to continue building. So I think you will. I do think you'll continue to build. And that's why I'm going to buy some, man. So let's just wrap this up and then get on with our lives, I suppose. So where we are now, relative to this range, we're at 34 cents, okay? I believe, as we did here, and we didn't do it here, but I think this time, I think we're going to move up faster than this, maybe a little slower than this, but something on par with that. I think that we're going to move up very fast over this next month or so, probably back up to this anywhere from like 65 to 85, 86 cent area, okay? Sometime in November, as early as November, I think we could break out of this. And certainly by the end of the year, I would expect that we've broken out of this zone. When we break out of this zone, you guys, it's on. It's a party. It's time to go. The train is rolling. It's moving out of the station and on to the next one. I don't know what else to say here. I'm trying to come up with something funny, and I'm bombing it. But anyways, 34 cents here. When you break out of this zone, I would think you move up to $1.76, $2.21, $1.76, $2.21, somewhere in that range, very fast. Okay. Consolidate here, move down, whatever, however it looks afterwards. That next move, you know, you might even continue past the 618. You've been pent up for so long, you genuinely might just tear right through your 618 and then consolidate above it. That can happen, and then afterwards you can just, you know, run up to your zone there. By the end of 2025 is kind of what I'm expecting. Last time, if we look at what you did from a high to a low, you stopped at your 61869 for, you know, you had a high here. It wasn't until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later that you broke above that high. Actually, I guess 5 months later you got above that high, but 6 months, that's when you started to really move out higher. So, yeah, a little turbulence at the golden ratio could be expected. That's what we saw last cycle. Maybe we see it this cycle, but maybe not. Again, a lot of cryptos have been disregarding their 618 this cycle. I've noticed that a lot of cryptos have been doing this where they just run up to their 786 and then consolidate in this zone and then they move up. So we'll see. We'll know better as we get up there, and I think we'll have an idea by the end of this year, because I do think that we're going to move up to this area, or at least start moving up to this area, breaking out above this zone that's above like 80 to 90 cents there by the end of this year. So we'll know better once we get up there. But nonetheless, great time to buy. I think if you're looking to buy mana, like I'm going to buy right now. I wish I bought more at a lower price, but I'm going to buy more right now. Yeah, that's going to happen right now, man. I don't care that it's up 15%. Maybe it moves down a little bit. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't care. If it moves down lower, I can buy more, and I'd be happy to buy more. If it moves up higher, well, that's great. Any kind of downside is going to be insignificant to what's to come over the days and weeks, at least in my opinion. Weekly RSI looks very bullish, ready to go. Daily RSI looks very bullish and ready to go. And the monthly, chilling, whatever. It's okay. Monthly RSIs are weird. But yeah, everything looks good, man. 4 hour, it all looks really good. So that's all I got to say. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.